Alright, so hopefully you nailed the simultaneous equations via substitution. The second method to solve these is called elimination. Now, eliminate means to get rid of, and that's exactly what we're going to do here, is get rid of either the x's or the y's. Now, there's actually two videos for this because we're going to deal with the simple ones first. So some of the things that I'm saying you might hear repeated in the second one, but feel free to fast forward me. Okay, so in order to eliminate either the x's or the y's, what we want to do is have the number in front of the x or y be the same. Now, these questions here are nicely set up because, as you can see, the number in front of x is already the same. They've both got a 5 there. So in order to eliminate this, what we can do is subtract one equation from the other. So if I label this equation 1, and we call this equation 2, if I say equation 1 minus equation 2, so we're just going to put a big old minus there, look what happens. 5x take 5x, it's no x. So they are eliminated, they disappear. But now I have to keep going, and I'm going to say 4 take negative 4. So two negatives make a positive, so I get 8y. And I have to keep going down here. 2 take negative 2. So take again becomes a positive, so I get 2 plus 22, which is 24. Nearly done. I want y by itself here to get rid of the times 8. You guessed it, we're going to divide, so it ends up being 24 divided by 8, and that gives me an answer of 3. You think you're done, but not so fast, because we actually need to find a value for x and y. So remember, what we're trying to come up with here is a value for x and for y that I can put into both of these equations, and it will equal the 2 and the minus 22. So to find my x value, I can pick any one of these equations and put the y back in. So I'm going to pick the first one, so it becomes 5x plus, instead of 4y, we're saying y is 3, so this becomes 4 times 3 equals 2. And we can solve this nicely. 4 3s are 12 equals 2. Let's get rid of that plus 2 by taking, plus 12 by taking 12. So 2 take 12 on the other side becomes minus 10. And we get x equals, to get rid of that times 5, I'm going to divide. Minus 10 divided by 5 is minus 2. So these are my two simultaneous solutions. And we call them simultaneous solutions because when we put it in here in the first equation, x is minus 2, so 5 times minus 2, I'll just write that over here because we'll erase that in a minute. So we're going to say 5 times minus 2, right, putting it in here, plus 4 times y, we're saying y is 3, so times 3, this gives me minus 10 plus 12, and that gives me the 2, so that actually works for that equation, okay? And at the same time, so simultaneously, it's going to work for this equation as well. So let's try that one. It becomes 5 times x, which again is minus 2, but this time we're going to say take 4 times y, which is 3. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, and that gives me minus 22, which is the answer that we have here. So that's why we call these simultaneous. Right, I'm just going to erase that because it's going to be a bit more magic. Okay, let's do this one. We can see here that the numbers in front of x are the same. So once again, we'll do the same thing. Call them 1 and 2, and we have to decide, are we going to add the equations together or subtract? Now, if we added, minus 3 plus minus 3 becomes minus 6. And that's not eliminating, that's making it worse. So again, we're going to say 1 minus 2. So again, put the big minus there. Minus 3 take minus 3. So take becomes plus, and minus 3 plus 3x, no x. Minus 1 take 4. So minus 1y take 4y is minus 5y. And 8 minus 13 is minus 5. and then we're nearly done. So to get rid of a times -5, we will divide -5. -5 divided by -5 is +1. Nearly there, but remember you want the x value as well. So we're going to substitute it back in here. We get -3x, and remember you could have substituted it in the one below. I'm just doing the top one, looks smaller. Take y, so take 1 equals 8. So we end up with -3x. Get rid of a take 1, we add 1, we get 9. Get rid of a times -3, we divide by -3, so 9 divided by -3, we get x is in fact -3, and these are our two answers. Hopefully you think that's pretty easy. We'll just do one last one. Okay, and this is just the last one, and you can see that, again, we're not going to eliminate the x's in this case because we can see that the y's, they have the same number in front, so this is a 1. Okay, so this is, call it 1, call it equation 2. And again, the previous two questions that we did, we subtracted, but if we subtract here, 1 take -1 becomes plus. So 1 plus 1 is 2. It doesn't eliminate. So in this case, to eliminate the y's, we're going to add. We'll write that equation 1 plus equation 2, right? We're adding them together. 3x plus 5x gives me 8x. Y plus -y, no y, cancelled. 5 plus 3 gives me 8. And let's finish this off, because to get rid of the times 8, we will divide by 8. And we all know that 8 divided by 8 is 1. Before you move on to the next question, let's just find the y value. Again, put it into either equation here. I'm going to go the top one. So we've got 3 times x, so 3 times 1. So I'm just going to write it as 3 plus y equals 5. Let's get rid of this plus 3. We take 3, so y equals 2. And that's it. Okay, so the next part will now be, well, what happens if we have an equation that looks like 2x plus 4y equals 7 and 3x take 5y equals -1. So in this case, the coefficients aren't the same. What are we going to do then? So that's in the next video if you have a look. Hope that helps.